Hello, all my dear friends. This is Maxine Taylor, and I have the forecast for this month. Yes, I know the month is moving along rather rapidly. I wanted to wait until Mercury came out of the shadow of the retrograde, which it does, let's see, tomorrow. But I just couldn't wait. So, anyhow, haven't you noticed that everything has been just nuts? Well, it's not you, it's many things. And of course, our favorite scapegoat is Mercury retrograde. So, enjoy it while you still can, because it's going to go direct, it's going to come out of the shadow tomorrow. And I've noticed, and maybe you have too, that right after Mercury goes direct, of course, it moves into the shadow. And it feels just like a retrograde Mercury. Yes, you can start new projects when it's in the shadow, but there's always something getting in the way. So I'm sort of hoping that all of us will have a little period of peace before everything starts doing their thing again. Okay. And yes, I am referring later on this year to Mars going retrograde. We'll talk about it. So, my top announcement. Yes, I am starting a whole series of astrology classes on October 7th at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on Zoom. So those of you who have been asking, when are you going to start your classes? On October 7th. Now, call me. Go to my website, MaxineTaylor.com, and there's an explanation there of what I'll be offering. If you're interested in studying astrology just because you've always wanted to, if you're interested in studying astrology because you want to practice astrology, you'd like to hang out your shingle, I'm going to support you in that because I am going to teach every student everything I know about astrology. Well, not everything. You can't get over 50 years of astrology and boil it down to, 9 months, but I'll do my best. I will. So go to my website, look it over, give me a call or email me because I want to talk with you, and you're going to want to talk with me and find out where you fall in the lineup. You may be an intermediate astrology student. Sometimes that happens. Now, in that case, I suggest that you take advantage of my mentoring program. Before COVID came along, I had a mentoring program where I worked one-on-one with a student, and we had the most wonderful time. They got personal attention from me. They just loved it. And then there was COVID. Need I say more? Well, I'm resurrecting my mentoring sessions, and I would love to talk to you if you're interested. All righty, so let's take a look at what's going on here. All righty. Well, first of all, I think I can actually read my own handwriting this week. Oh, I wanted to wait until Mercury came out of the shadow of the retrograde and until the interview with Trump and Kamala was done. That's kind of a marker. And of course that took place last night. So here we are. And let's start with the sun, the center of our solar system. The sun is, of course. And wherever the sun is, that is the area of life that is lit up, that comes alive, because the sun is the giver of life. In your own birth chart, you may not have anything in, let's say, the fifth house of fun and games and all that good stuff. However, when the sun is in your fifth house, you're ready to party. Now, you can use that definition of the fifth house as children. So it's a fun, fun, fun house. And then as the sun moves into your sixth house, you're, back to the grind. Okay, so the sun is sitting in the United States chart in the fifth house of fun, of teaching, of enjoyment, art, beauty, etc. I thought I had brought my mundane chart with me, but I didn't. Fortunately, I've been doing this for over 50 years. I think I can get through it without a cheat sheet. We'll see. So, first of all, we had a new moon on the 3rd, and on the new moon, everything starts growing. Now, remember, Mercury was retrograde and in the shadow of the retrograde, so it doesn't matter that as much that, yay, I get to play and to party, because Mercury, even in the shadow, is saying, not so fast. Just stay put, because Murphy's Law kicks in when Mercury is retrograde or in the shadow. And it's uncanny. Some people don't feel it. Other people really do. And this has been a humdinger of a Mercury retrograde. I've heard from so many people who have said, I'm using our favorite scapegoat, Mercury retrograde, or in the shadow of the retrograde. So tomorrow we're out of that. Now, the sun, the giver of life, is going to sit on Neptune, the dreamer, the idealist, on the 22nd of the month. And I always say that when the sun sits on Neptune, you get your dream come true. So get clear what that dream is that you would like to create. The fifth house is schools, it's teachers, it's children, etc. You get the picture. And Neptune is the dream. So if there's something you've always wanted to do, particularly if it is of a spiritual nature, because that's Neptune, well, so is Neptune is space cadet. Neptune is, I don't know, but I'm having such a good time. Leave me alone. It is on its highest level, the dream come true. And remember, this is for the entire country. And so there can be an expose or some sort of information that comes through dealing with schools and kids. Now, there was a shooting in Georgia, just outside of Atlanta, and the authorities are looking at it very carefully. On the 22nd, or about the 22nd, they may have an aha moment. There may be a piece of information that surfaces that can give them what they want. I'm serious. Okay, so that's the new moon. And it grows and gets more tense and more tense and more tense until the full moon. Now, this particular full moon is also an eclipse, a lunar eclipse. We feel the effects of an eclipse at least a week ahead of its activity. When we have an eclipse, normally, as I said, good 2, 3, 4 months, weeks ahead, you'll feel it. It is at its peak 3 to 4 months after it occurs, and the effects last until the next pair of eclipses come along, which they will before the end of the year. Now, if this full moon falls on your sun, your moon, or your ascendant, this is a new life for you, a whole new life. And while eclipses last in pairs till the next pair come along, we can feel the effects of a new life eclipse for a couple of years after it kicks in. And that can be a wonderful journey. Okay, so the new moon is in 11 Virgo. The full moon on September 18th will be in 25 Pisces. Now, the 11th house of the United States deals with groups, all types of groups. It deals with our friends, our hopes and wishes. It deals with bodies of people. And this can be really great for our country because this is a humanitarian house. And it really is beautiful when it is activated. Okay, now let's look at Venus, the pink planet. Venus is love. Venus is money. Venus is beauty. Venus is the lesser benefic. So it's transiting your 5th house and sitting on Saturn. Now, Saturn is reality. And in a mundane chart, I tend to be rather literal rather than spiritual, because we're dealing with so many millions of people in the United States. This is true of any large company, and so, or country. I keep calling it a company. So there's something involving companies, all companies that will be in effect this month. So let's look. Venus brings love and beauty and happiness. It is sitting on Saturn, reality, on the 10th. Well, today is the 11th. We feel it a day or two before and a day or two afterwards. So think about yesterday. Think about, I'm posing a question. Did you get something you wanted? It could be a conversation with somebody. It could be a wonderful rapport with your child. If you're a teacher, of course, it would deal with children. And so Venus softens Saturn that says you're obligated. I have determined that I determined approximately, I want to say 25 years ago, that Saturn represents not obligation, but should, ought to. And my definition of Saturn is now not fear, but responsibility. And my definition of responsibility is respond to your ability as a leader. I know all of you are looking at your Saturn right now. Put this video on pause and check it out. So here we go with Venus, love, beauty, money, sitting on Saturn and softening it. So I think headway can be made, really excellent headway, with anything that holds us back in our country. And Saturn, of course, deals with authority figures. It rules the 10th house, the midheaven, which is our public image and our leader. It also rules the 9th house, which is the big picture. What you don't get hung up on details when it's in the 9th house, but you are able to see it from a distance and take advantage as the leader. All of us can do that. So Venus in that 5th house is terrific. On the 23rd, excuse me, Venus moves into our 6th house of work and job and health. And so Venus is the lesser benefic, as I mentioned. It brings love, it brings money, it brings all the good stuff. And so the health of our nation can improve, right? And it sits on our vertex in the 6th house. On the 25th, it sits there. And so our role in life as a nation is going to be blessed. And somebody can find a cure for one of the diseases that can really hold us down and back. So we are blessed in the area of fun, of enjoyment, and work, health, and service. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is Mars and Jupiter. Now, Jupiter, right here, is in the 1st house of the United States chart. The 1st house in a person's chart represents your personal, your body, your personal opinion about yourself. It helps you express you. In a mundane chart, it can deal with the country's response, depending on the planet, and I'm building toward a crescendo here. Hang with me. In the chart of a country, this 1st house sets the tone of the people. In the United States chart, we have Mars, the warrior, in the 1st house. We also have, I didn't put it in this chart because it's not kicked into place right now. We have Uranus, the rebel, explosiveness on the ascendant, 1 degree off the ascendant, and the ascendant is Gemini. So we are a duality, and you can see it in politics. Some people are able to stand back and see a big picture. Other people just want to shoot. It goes to extremes. Well, Jupiter, the greater benefic, expands and brings blessings and, yes, money, and it can bring all the good stuff, whatever you want, all month. And it will bring anger, but I shouldn't say bring it. It will activate Mars, anger. And we will be leaping forward and telling it like it is. Now, Mars is sitting on Jupiter in the 2nd house and the sun. And so we are really looking at money this month. And that means we can create more money. It's going to be very interesting to see how money grows during these next few months after the election. And I'm looking forward to bringing y'all up to date with the election. I am teaching my students tomorrow, my astrology students, how to read a diurnal chart, which I love the diurnal charts. And we need to know exactly where the person is on that particular date. So if any of you know where Trump and where any politician is, all right, where our two candidates for president are going to be on the 5th of November, both Kamala and Trump. Both of those birth times are accurate. If you happen to know for sure where they're going to be on November 5th, I would love it if you would send that information to me and tell me how you got it, because I will then be able to do my favorite chart of all, the diurnal chart, and tell you who's going to be president. So, till next month, till I talk to you about those of you who have expressed an interest in studying astrology with me, until we get together again next month, may the stars shine brightly on you and yours. And goodbye, my dear friends, for now.